Good evening, St. James family and friends. I'm just standing outside here of our beautiful sanctuary. Wanted to give you an update as we are making our plans for those who may want to come back to worship in person this coming Sunday. We have had a great team to bring around, just making some great faithful decisions for the church. I've got a couple of nurses on the team, some PhDs, epidemiologists for most of their career, and a lot of our staff. And so we've been looking at all the data, all the information to make this the safest, but also the most worshipful time that we can for those who want to make it back to worship. So again, we will be continuing online worship as part of our regular worship. So please, if you need or want to stay home, if you're not ready to come back yet, we will see you online this coming weekend. But just wanted to give you a couple updates and ways for you to prepare with us as we come back to worship here. So one of the first things is service times. We are going to maintain the same service times that we've had. Thank you to all those who filled out the survey and gave us your feedback. We will stay at 9:30 and 11. The worship team and myself, we will be shortening the worship services to give us more time to prepare in between services. So again, 9:30 for traditional, 11 o'clock for contemporary. But I wanted to kind of walk through what the experience may look like and use that to show you ways that we are preparing. And one of the first ones is simply being out here in our porte-cochere. You all know as we enter up to the church here, we are going to need to be careful about how close we even gather as we are waiting to come in. So we are going to be setting up what we call spheres of influence, just kind of 6 foot, 8 foot radius for us to gather in before we come in. And I'll just offer, as hard as it is going to be to not hug each other, shake hands, and all of those things, we really need to be careful about our social distancing and social contact. So maybe air high fives, maybe an air hug for all of our family members that we want to get close to again. But as we come up to the main doors here, we will have ushers who will open the doors for you if they're not open already. Again, this is just a means for the least amount of hands touching the common surfaces. All of our staff will have masks on, and those who will be touching common surfaces will have gloves as well. This is just our effort to keep everyone traveling well and safely through this. Plus, it might be good to see some of our ushers here. So as we come into the lobby here, you'll notice some differences. One big one is that we have kind of closed off all of the hospitality area. We just figured as we start our way back, it'll be a little bit easier and safer for everyone as well. But we will have a string of a volunteer team to help you get in safely and get to your seat safely. I will put the plug out now. We will need some volunteers. So if you have time, if you plan to come on Sunday, please email leo.villanueva@stjamestampa.org. But we will have folks here. If you, again, can bring your own mask, we are strongly recommending everybody to bring your own mask. We may need to make that mandatory by the end of the week. It's just becoming more and more clear how important masks are essential to keeping everyone safe. Again, not even just for ourselves, but for others around us. And so we will have masks available here for you. I brought a couple from our home. This one is Debbie's, not mine. I will not be wearing this color. She will wear it much better than I. We also have an N95 mask at home. We will have the cloth masks available for you to be able to wear and worship if you don't have your own. We'll also have hand sanitizer stations to make sure that as much as possible we're able to keep clean. The bathrooms will be open, so you can go and use them and wash your hands in there as well. But one of the other things as we come in here, again, there will be a lot of open space in our lobby. We are blessed with that. But one thing will be to digitally check in. And so we're not going to have any paper in the sanctuary, again, just for the least amount of things to touch and be touched. So we will have a volunteer here with gloves on and a mask to help you check in digitally. But more importantly, they'll be able to put you in to let us know and let you know that we've been here for worship. We'll have prayer requests in there also. Might actually be a little bit better because I don't know about y'all, but on a Sunday morning, my handwriting sometimes is pretty messy. So that will be a means for us to be able to help us all know who's here, again, to keep the flow going smoothly into the sanctuary. So as we enter into the sanctuary, we are going to be setting these chairs out specifically for social distancing, but also for families to sit together if they want to. So at least 6 feet between us, maybe even more. We'll be having clusters of seats for those in parties of more than 1 or 2. So again, just let your usher know and they will find and direct you to a seat there. Again, you will notice that there is a lot of spacing here for the amount of folks that we have seen in the survey who will be coming back. We'll be able to, I think, fit well in here for everybody. Again, this is just kind of a temporary setup. We're playing around a little bit as we do. So one of the concepts we have, as we've heard from other churches and kind of doing our own planning, is to put in certain locations those who might be more vulnerable. So I'm actually standing in front of what is typically our area where our Special Connections friends might be sitting. So hello all. But again, so the idea might be that we would put maybe our Special Connections friends over in this area. And in the center aisles, be able to put our families and younger children who might be in lower vulnerability for it. And on the other side of the church, put our more elderly, maybe vulnerable population in that way. Again, this would maintain some distance from the main center area where a lot of the singing might be going on, and allow us to keep people safe in that way. Again, this is just a little bit of what we are doing to prepare this place and kind of our new normal as we come back to worship for those who may desire to do so. Again, if you are desiring to stay home for as long as you need to, we will see you online. But this is what we are doing to balance just being safely in this together. So a couple highlights. Service times are going to be the same, 9:30 and 11. We will shorten them up a little bit to give us some time to prepare in between services. We are strongly encouraging everyone to wear masks. We may need to make a decision to make that mandatory by the weekend. It's just so essential. Part of that also is that when we are singing, singing and shouting actually no longer make it just kind of droplets, but they make it an aerosol. And so it spreads much more like a gas at that place. So we'll be singing here, maybe not at the top of our lungs, but the masks will help us to be safe together. We'll be, again, guiding you from almost from the parking lot all the way to your seats to help us to be able to find the safest places for you. We will be maintaining social distancing as best as possible, but we will look forward to being together in the Spirit and the love of Christ. Take care, y'all. God bless.